in Team G here. Really excited to have y'all. I know we're running a little bit behind, so appreciate your patience here. For those of you who do not know me, I know we have some audience here today. I'm Carly Dawson here with the National Sports Forum. I head up our marketing and communication department, and part of my responsibility is also the Challenge Cup and the Case Cup competition. So I know the students are spending about almost 2 months now on their presentation, so we're really excited to have y'all, really excited for this. Students, you have a bit different of an audience. Instead of the 4 judges, you now have the full panel of 12 judges here to listen to your presentation and give you your feedback and Q&A during the 10-minute Q&A portion afterwards. And I will let them introduce themselves in a second, but I'll just do a few housekeeping notes before we begin, and then we'll kind of jump right into it. So like last time, I'm going to be utilizing the chat feature for to let you guys know, 15 minutes left, 10 minutes left, 5 minutes left. You're able to pace yourselves as you would like. In this presentation, you're obviously given 25 minutes instead of 20 for the presentation time, with a 10-minute judges Q&A as well. It'll be exactly the same as last time, the process. So I'll have, after the judges introduce themselves, I'll have Team G pull up their presentation, but you can hold off for right now. The winner will be announced at the NSF Virtual Spring Summit in May. Each school has 8 badges to utilize, so I'm assuming we'll see the 4 of you there. But if not, tune in, or you'll be able to tune into the Spring Summit to hear the first, second, and third place team. So really looking forward to it. And with that, I will actually throw it over to the judges to do a quick introduction of themselves, and we'll do a little popcorn. So the first judge I have on my screen here is Ashley. So Ashley, if you want to take it away.
Ooh, I get to go first. Hello, everybody. My name is Ashley Post. I work for MLSC, which is Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. So up in Canada, that is the company that has Toronto Maple Leafs, Toronto Raptors, Toronto FC, as well as our Toronto Raptors Uprising esports team. So my role is really leading the digital strategic lens when it comes to our partnerships group, focusing on media and really connecting all of our great partners to our team ecosystems to create some really great fan experiences. I will pass it to another fellow Canadian, Ken.
Hi, everybody. Ken Darrett. Live in San Diego, and I run a consulting company here in sports and entertainment. Prior to that, I was a CMO for the San Diego Chargers for 17 years, and then was in New York working as head of global marketing partnerships for the NBA. So I look forward to hearing some great stories from you today. And I'll turn it over to Brett.
Brett Bauer, Vice President of Partnership and Hospitality Sales for the Pittsburgh Pirates. In my previous role, Monumental Sports Entertainment, where we had some esports brands. So looking forward to today's session. I will jump it to Steph.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. I'm Stephanie Rousseau. I think I recognize your faces from last time, so good to see you again. As a refresher, I work at Twitch in esports and gaming. Been here for nearly 6 years. My job is a lot like your proposal that you put together. I receive RFPs like this on a daily basis. I actually previously worked with US Bank, funny enough. So excited to see what you have today. I know it's going to be like revved up from what we've previously seen. So absolutely pumped. Thank you. And I'll pass it to Carl.
Thank you, Steph. I am Carl Crudup. I'm the Director of Special Event Sales with the Sacramento Kings. So super excited to see you all today, and looking forward to diving in your presentation. And I will popcorn it over to Katie.
Hi, Dave Sunoka, Department Head of Sport Management at Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh. And great to see you here, longtime judge for the Sports Forum. And I'm going to pass it over to another colleague, Tom Stallings.
Okay. I'm from Rice University. I teach in the Department of Sport Management here prior to coming to Rice 14 years ago. I spent 15 seasons with the Houston Astros and the Houston Aeros, the AAA affiliate from Minnesota Wild, all in sales capacities. I'm looking forward to seeing your presentation today. I'll pass this over to Katie.
Hi, everyone. Katie Foglia, Director of Innovation at Forefront Sports Marketing Consulting Agency. We work with a few esports teams. And I think this project's really similar to sort of my day in and day out work as a consultant. I will pass it over to Steve.
Hi guys, Steve Pastorino from US Integrity Sports Betting Monitoring Company out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Good to see you guys again. Good luck. Can't wait to see your second go round here, and I will send it over to Chris.
Chris Mann, SVP of Gaming and Esports at Revolution. Looking forward to seeing you guys come back with.
Did we get all 12 judges? Lenny,
Oh,
right?
Yes.
Lenny,
Yes,
sorry,
all
Lenny.
good.
I'm
All
going
good.
to throw it over to
Save-
Lenny.
Save the best for last. It's all good. So I'm Lenny. I complete the trifecta of Canadians on the judging council here. So I'm based out of Vancouver, Canada, with a software company called Tradable Bits. We're a fan data platform that works with sports, music, and entertainment. We help our partners understand their fans and market smarter. And on an RFP side, generally technology solutions, we would end up being some of those things that help deliver what you're trying to be able to achieve. So really looking forward to your guys' presentation today. And let's get underway.
Yeah, sounds good, Lenny. So,
Wait, also, Carly,
oh,
I didn't
Jeff,
get to go.
yes.
No, Jeff
Oh,
is the best for last. There we go.
Yeah, there's the best for last. That's the joke I was going to make. I'm Jeff Moll. I teach in NYU's sports marketing program in grad and undergrad. I headed up New York City's sports commission and marketing partnership organization for many years. And now I do consulting for major sporting events in New York. And now we can actually begin.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff. So yeah, like I said before, I'll be keeping track of the timing in the chat. Judges, you are able to turn off your cameras and microphones now. And then I also ask that anybody who is not presenting, please turn off their cameras as well, just so everybody has the view of the presenters. With that, whoever wants to pull up their presentation, you can do so right now. And we will actually get started once that's all pulled up, and I'll give you the go ahead, and you'll have 25 minutes. So I'll wait for you all to pull that up here. You have access, correct? Okay, cool. Awesome, I can see the screen great. Good luck, everyone, and looking forward to it. So this is Team G. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Carly. So today and my team are going to present our proposal for US Bank to partner with Rocket League. But before we do that, I want to quickly introduce the team that is going to be navigating the NSF circuit in pursuit of the Challenge Cup. First, in the blue car, we have yours truly, Jack Davis. In the yellow SUV, we have our team leader, Captain Sarah Moores. There's flames on his car, but it's your imagination he's going to set on fire today, Robert Simpson. And last but not least, like Jeff, we kept last 2 tons of fun, Cyril Penn. Ladies and gentlemen, rev your engines and we'll get there together. Now, I had a little fun with that intro, so let me reestablish what our task is here today. First, it's to establish US Bank as an authentic partner within esports. So each of our proposals, we really wanted to think about that authenticity and how to establish that. Secondly, to maximize the digital reach and impact of our partnerships. So not only the reach and how many people in this new space we're going to reach, but how we're going to impact them. When our team talked about impact, we were talking about business impact, improving margins, but also the social impact we could have. In the finals, we had the opportunity to make a splash with an in-person event. Our team really saw this as a great opportunity to, again, establish US Bank as an authentic and innovative partner in esports, and one that both fans and athletes are excited to have in the space. And then finally, we wanted to continue US Bank's great efforts to champion diversity and inclusion in our esports partnerships.
So here's a little overview of some of the things we'll be talking about today. So first of all, we're going to go over a SWOT analysis of US Bank and the esports space and look at some of the activations US Bank's competitors have had in the past. Next, we'll discuss why we chose Rocket League to partner with and how the Rocket League brand aligns with the values of US Bank. And finally, we'll present our 4-pillared approach to sponsorship and activation, after which there'll be a time for questions. So some of the strengths we believe will help US Bank reach the domestic esports audience are their high levels of customer satisfaction and their strong national distribution chain. This national reach, combined with a large and rapidly expanding esports audience, provides a multitude of channels to reach this growing market. High customer satisfaction suggests that once these new clients are on board, they're likely to stay. A few of the weaknesses that US Bank has that can be reinforced are a low number of unique selling propositions and generally low success rate outside of their core products. As part of our activation plan, we will take some of these successful core products and tweak and rebrand them to create a value proposition that can better target this audience. While esports is growing, diversity numbers are currently low in the sport. We hope that our proposed initiatives can help reach underrepresented populations and help develop them not only as esports participants, but as US Bank customers. Several opportunities exist in the esports space. Because of the newness of some of these leagues, the sport is lacking in formal payment infrastructure. This means that there are many sponsorship opportunities available. Because of the decentralized nature of esports, there exists a large portion of gamers with niche followings on platforms like Twitch. This lends itself well to grassroots marketing strategies and micro-influencers, which will be discussed further. US Bank faces a few threats as well, such as competing banks being first movers in the esports market, so they'll need to move quickly with a unique approach. The younger generation is more likely to be distrustful of traditional banking institutions, often because of a lack of financial literacy. Part of our proposal will focus on financial security and education. Here are a few financial institutions who have been early movers in the space. So TD and Chase have both partnered with esports teams to become their official bank. In 2013, American Express rolled out a debit card affiliated with League of Legends. PNC developed a sponsorship to create a discussion around gender disparity in esports through their Women in Esports initiative. I2C and Zyterra have joined forces to create a mobile banking platform for esports enthusiasts. We've attempted to take some of the best elements from all of these different past endeavors, such as partnering with gamers, targeting underrepresented groups, and serving a more mobile-friendly consumer base, and incorporate them into our proposed strategy. Through this integration, US Bank can create something that benefits the esports market through education, opportunities, and further growing the sport. Now I'll pass it over to Sarah to discuss why we've chosen Rocket League as the ideal partner for US Bank.
In order to enter into the esports industry, we had to make sure that the esport that US Bank partnered with really matched the goals of US Bank. So the first thing was that it had to have a predominant audience within the United States. It had to be a non-violent game, and there had to be both growing viewership and growing active players. This is how we landed on Rocket League. The US serves as Rocket League's largest market, and there is no first-person shooting or fantasy violence in the game. Not only has viewership steadily increased over the last 2 years of Rocket League streams, but the already popular game has had an increase of players when it went free to play in September. But what is Rocket League? So it is a high-powered hybrid of arcade-style soccer and vehicular mayhem. To simplify that a little bit, it's basically playing soccer with cars inside a giant cage. Players have the ability to customize their own car, and they play 3v3 soccer against each other. There is also an opportunity to play in different modes, as well as to go into the shop to customize their cars more. But how are consumers interacting with the game? First, you have Rocket League, which is developed by Psyonix. Based on Rocket League, you can have both competitors and casual people who play the game. But then there are now competitions that are created, such as the Rocket League Championship. In these championships, teams then join, and on these teams, you have streamers. Streamers can either be on teams, or they can individually stream through platforms such as Twitch. This means that there are a lot of customer touch points, which means that there are many opportunities for brands to come in to reach the players and fans of Rocket League. This is why we propose that US Bank become the official North American bank of Rocket League. This was going to give them access to many different things, including licensing of Rocket League imagery and intellectual property, integration of activations through the Rocket League ecosystem, and tournament naming rights. In order to fulfill these activations, we are taking a four-pillared approach. The first pillar is going to be creating a women and minority gaming coalition. The second pillar will be creating the Women's Rocket League Championship and D&I Fellowship that will be launched along with it. Third, there is going to be a Rocket League credit card that will allow for cash back for Rocket League fans. And fourth, there will be ROCKETCON presented by US Bank, a in-person event for Rocket League fans. Next, I'm going to pass it over to Cyril, who is going to talk about our first two pillars of activation.
Thanks, Sarah. So we've outlined some key steps that US Bank can take to simultaneously support the growth of women and minorities in esports and promote brand awareness among the millennial and Generation Z market in an authentic way. And as Sarah mentioned, the first of these pillars is creating the Women and Minority Gaming Coalition. In conducting some secondary research on the esports community, we found that 29% of esports fans are women. However, of those female esports fans, 62% said they feel like brands don't market to them, and 71% don't feel that they're properly represented in esports and gaming. And this leaves a large gap in the market waiting to be filled. And one of the primary ways we want to champion and support women and diverse members of the Rocket League community is to start a coalition of women and minority gamers. These gamers would be composed entirely of women and people of color who are both from the United States and play Rocket League competitively. And this group would serve as brand ambassadors for US Bank. US Bank would assist these gamers to further their careers in Rocket League. So here on this slide, we've assembled a potential team of 15 different minority and women who could form this coalition. And we recommend that US Bank bring on at least 10 to 12 of these gamers listed. And we strongly advise that US Bank bring on the two highlighted gamers, Athena and Arsenal, as they have pretty significant followings already. Our 10 to 12 person group of women and persons of color will be brand ambassadors for US Bank, like I had said. US Bank would create a team banner of our D&I coalition that would be displayed on the Twitch profile of the coalition members. Members would also advertise the Rocket Card, which we'll talk about later, the Women's Rocket League Championship and ROCKETCON on all their social channels. And they'd have the US Bank logo placed subtly and strategically in the bottom right corner of their streams. Think of our D&I coalition members as sponsored athletes or skateboarders who wear branded clothing, participate in fan engagement events, and create organic brand awareness for US Bank through their individualism and fan interaction. In creating this Women and Minority Gaming Coalition, we want to do best to foster growth of our gamers. And one way that we can do that is to partner them with Stream Elements. Stream Elements is a company who helps with the graphics, production, and mentorship of esports streamers. And they recently conducted a competition where the 20 winning streamers received $5,000 worth of that mentorship, graphic help, and production help. And as part of our proposal, US Bank would do the same for each member of our D&I coalition, partnering them with Stream Elements to provide this service, and in doing so, helping our gamers to have the best production value possible. Next, I'll move on to describing the second pillar of our activation, which is becoming a partner and title sponsor of the Women's Carball Championship. So we want to partner with the current sponsor of the event, legitimize and rebrand the tournament with our Rocket League partnership, and create a D&I fellowship to promote our Rocket League Championship series. Currently, the Women's Carball Championship is sponsored and operated by a company called Crimson Wings. It is an all-women's Rocket League tournament played every 6 months, where 8 teams composed of 3 women and 1 alternate compete for what's currently a $5,000 prize pool. The tournament's relatively new in the industry. There have been 3 tournaments or seasons to this point, but there's been a significant amount of interest building with 339,000 views on Twitch during season 3. We think that the minuscule $5,000 prize pool undervalues the talent level of the tournament members and the viewership trends of the event. And because of that, we suggest that US Bank, in forming this partnership, immediately increase the prize pool from 5,000 to 100,000 to raise the stakes of this event and encourage more female gamers to join the competitive Rocket League space. Right now, Crimson Wings, the current title sponsor of the Women's Carball Championship, does not have the money to legitimize the tournament as a Rocket League sponsored event. But in partnering with Rocket League and Crimson Wings, we can rebrand this tournament name to the Women's Rocket League Championship Series. And rebranding and legitimizing the event, we also plan to host the Women's Championship 3 times a year instead of 2, to have it follow along with the same calendar that the Rocket League Championship Series does. So while we'll be the title sponsor of the Spring Rocket League Championship Series, we'll be the sponsor of all 3 Women's Championship events. We also plan to have a series of cross-promotional social media posts between the US Bank Women and Minority Coalition, Rocket League Championships, and ROCKETCON accounts to support each other and grow awareness. And now I'll get into the nitty-gritty of our D&I fellowship aspect of this pillar. So US Soccer created the She Believes internship, which was tied in with their tournament of the same name, in an effort to get more women into Major League Soccer organizations in executive positions. This fellowship that we would have along those same parameters includes 2 one-year fellows who will work on marketing the endeavors of our coalition, ROCKETCON, and both men's and women's Rocket League Championship events. Each would earn $50,000 a year and would receive a $250,000 budget, providing them with the opportunity to create and implement strategy to significantly grow the tournament. And now Jack will give you details on the 3rd pillar of our activation.
So the 3rd pillar is going to focus on the impact part. The first 2 pillars really helped us expand the reach of US Bank, but we want to make sure that there's something that will both have that business impact and have that social impact within that reach. So one way we're going to do that is through the initiation of a Rocket League credit card. So I'm going to talk about why that is needed and what the social benefits are of it. I'm going to talk about what the mechanism is, a secured credit card. And then finally, I'm going to touch on how we're going to make it appealing to our new consumers. So first, as many of you are aware, there's a big issue with credit access inequality in America, and there's a growing trend of wealth disparity. 5% of the US owns 2/3 of the nation's wealth. Credit invisibility is a major barrier for accessing this wealth, as it prevents people that don't have a credit history from securing mortgages and small business loans that can help break this cycle. Unfortunately, even when other variables are accounted for, credit invisibility disproportionately impacts minorities and other marginalized communities. The secured credit card is a great product that our team love that US Bank offers. It's an accessible tool to build credit. There's no credit history required to obtain the card, and this is able to be done because there's low credit limits and it's secured through a deposit, meaning that cardholders always have the funds to pay their bills. The problem is a lot of times the people that benefit most from this kind of card aren't aware of it. We're going to fix that with our new reach and leverage it to introduce the Rocket Card. The Rocket Card is going to have our Rocket Car front and center on it. So we're going to leverage that partnership with Rocket League to create a customized card. Fans are going to be incredibly excited to see these cars come to life. I can't emphasize enough how much Rocket League players love their cars, and to see it on their card will excite them. As far as the rewards, there's going to be 3 rewards associated with the cards. One is a subscription to Rocket Passes, which you can think of as Rocket League Premium. Secondly, there's going to be 100 in-game credits received for every on-time payment. And finally, in-game items will be unlocked for completing financial literacy training. You'll notice all these rewards are tied to healthy credit habits, not just to spending. We also want to leverage our partnerships and our reach to promote this card. Our sponsored athletes are going to be the first to receive the card and promote them on their personal channels. You'll see an example of a social media post to the left there from Athena. The Rocket Card will officially launch leading up to the first ever ROCKETCON, and cardholders will have the first opportunities to buy tickets to the event. Activations will be set up at ROCKETCON that promote the card and provide opportunities to learn about building credit. Now, you've probably heard me talk enough about how much I love the Rocket Card idea, and you're really just wondering what's ROCKETCON. I'm going to hand it over to Cyril to answer that question.
Thanks, Jack. So in tying our activations together with an in real life event, we propose that US Bank create ROCKETCON, a convention that supports both the growing sport of Rocket League and the esports industry in general. There's currently 3 annual national Rocket League tournaments, a fall, winter, and spring split. And as part of US Bank's partnership with Psyonix, we'd become the title sponsor of the spring split of the tournament. There's already an in-person event for the Spring Rocket League Championship Series, but we want to build this standalone 2-hour event into a full 2-day convention by hosting an amateur tournament bringing in our newly legitimized women's tournament, and creating some incredibly useful and fun activations along the way. Rocket League would be a 2-day event hosted on May of 2022 in Arlington, Texas. The esports stadium in Arlington is North America's largest dedicated esports venue, and we felt that Texas, being a centralized state, could be accessible to the fan base. So we propose that US Bank contract ESL Gaming, which is an esports event organization and production company, and we feel that they can help put on ROCKETCON easily for us. ROCKETCON would bring together the Spring Rocket League Championship Circuit and the Spring Women's Championship together under one roof on day 2, and would promote the career development of the esports space, excite fans, and showcase the Women's Championship on a grand stage. And now my teammate Robert will help fill in the details of the activation.
Rocket League will be the Rocket League destination. If I'm a Rocket League fan, I walk up to this massive expo center, and on my left, I see people playing bumper car soccer, an opportunity to play Rocket League in real life. As I walk in the door, there's an esports career fair with booths from prominent game development brands and opportunities to apply for the US Bank Diversity Fellowship. There's a computer gaming center to play the games that I love with fellow gamers. I see posters for an amateur Rocket League tournament starting soon, and I feel excited for the chance to enter. Since I completed the 10-minute financial literacy course I saw advertised beforehand, I get the chance to spin the big Rocket League prize wheel, and bang! I won a new set of wheels for my virtual car. I noticed some stations where other people can complete the training so they can also get 50% off the second day of the event. After demoing some of Psionic's new games at the gaming center, I get in line to meet members of the D&I coalition, including one of my favorite gamers, Arsenal. Once I have my autographs, I notice a kiosk where you can customize your Rocket card. My car that I spent so many hours playing Rocket League to upgrade gets to be on my very own credit card, and I earn Rocket League credits with every purchase. So I decided to sign up. After a great experience at day 1 of ROCKETCON, I made sure to take the second financial literacy training course and am entered to win VIP tickets for the finals. There's an inspiring keynote speaker before the Women's Rocket League Championship who encourages minority and women gamers who want to get more involved in the space. Then I sit back and watch some of the best women gamers in the world compete. During the match, it is announced that I have won VIP tickets to the Rocket League Championship Final, courtesy of US Bank. Between matches, I watch some of my new friends compete in the amateur finals, and then I am ushered to my front row VIP seats for the experience of a lifetime. All in all, I made new friends and esports connections, increased my financial literacy, and have become a potential lifetime customer of US Bank.
So you may be wondering, how long is this going to take to get into action? In September of 2021, we proposed that they announce the D&I Fellowship and open it to applicants. In October of 2021, we proposed that you sign the members of the coalition to help promote the Women's Rocket League Championship that will be coming up soon. In December of 2021, there will be the first split of the Women's Rocket League Championship presented by US Bank, and this will coincide with the Rocket Card launch. In May of 2022, you're going to have the second split of the Women's Rocket League Championship over at ROCKETCON, where you are also going to have the Rocket League Championship and everything else that we have just discussed. Next, let's look at the budget. Becoming the official North American bank of Rocket League should cost around $2 million for US Bank. This will include licensing of intellectual property and becoming the title sponsor of the spring split. The coalition will cost about $500,000, with Athena and Arsenal costing a little bit more than the other groups of the coalition due to their popularity. The Women's Rocket League Championship should be $750,000. The largest chunk of this budget is going to be for the fellowship, one, for them being able to do the discretionary funds towards the Women's Rocket League Championship, and second, their salaries. The Rocket card will also be $750,000. And we believe that the biggest charges here will be for the card customizations and Rocket League infrastructure. Being able to up the technology of US Bank to ensure that we can seamlessly get all of this customization onto these credit cards. Lastly, we have ROCKETCON. Since they are partnering with ESL Gaming, this is going to cut down the cost of this event a bit. So the biggest costs are going to be the venue and then just some of the activations. All in all, it's just going to be just shy of $5.5 million, which leaves a little bit of discretionary funds just in case we missed anything. And did wanted to point out that in the travel expenses, we included the travel of Team G to be able to go to ROCKETCON in May of 2022. Next, I wanted to look at the value proposition. So according to data, there are about 6 million Rocket League players who are considered active players. And conservatively estimating on this, that there would be about 1,500 of these that would actually get the credit card. We have also found, based on studies, that $3,000 is about the estimated lifetime customer value of credit card holders. This means that there's a direct value of $4.5 million that will go to US Bank. This isn't even including just the image and reputational benefits that this partnership will give US Bank, but just the money back that this partnership will give. For these reasons, we believe that this partnership will be really great for US Bank. So just to summarize it all, here is our 4 pillars. First, we are going to have a Women and Minority Gaming Coalition, where we will work with women and minority gamers to help bump up their streaming and become advocates of US Bank. Then we are going to have the Women's Rocket League Championship, that will be presented by US Bank, where we will sponsor the top tournament for female Rocket League gamers, as well as including a fellowship. Third, the Rocket League credit card, which will tie in rewards to credit building and financial literacy training. And fourth, what pulls it all together is ROCKETCON, presented by US Bank, the large 2-day Rocket League event. Thank you so much, and we would now like to open the floor for questions.
Great job, Team G. I will ask you to stop sharing your screen now for the judges Q&A, and then if you want to reference something, you're more than welcome to pull it back up. Judges, if you want to turn on your cameras and microphones, that would be great. And then I will add 10 minutes to the clock, and we'll I'll have to cut y'all off at 10 minutes because we're running a bit behind schedule. So just to let you know, 10 minutes are on the clock now, and I'll just start when the first judge has a question. So judges, it's all you. Don't all speak at once.
Okay, a quick question about the value projection. You have 6 million active Rocket League players. You estimate 1,500 active players become lifetime customers. Can you share with me how you arrived at the 1,500 to be able to get ultimately to that 4.5 direct value? I understand the calculations. I'm just curious about the 6 million to the 1,500.
Yeah, so that was my projection. And the way I came to it was, and one thing to clarify too, when we say 6 million active players, those are players that have earned a trophy in the last month. So that's not just somebody that's logged on in the past year. Those are truly active players. If you imagine 100,000 of them in a stadium, that means 25 of those 100,000 sign up and become lifetime members. So we actually felt that was a fairly conservative estimate, but that would be the way I would try to conceptualize how many players that we would anticipate being able to actually turn into lifetime US Bank customers.
Thank you.
And of course, we think that the primary value of all of these activations extends far beyond the $4.5 billion that we're estimating would be direct value paying back.
Thanks, guys. I'll jump in quickly. First, great job. I know that this can't be easy, so thank you for taking us through this. I focus a lot on media and advertising and promotion and KPIs. So I'm interested to understand what the KPIs are. As well as what are the promotional elements? How are we going to let people know about, ROCKETCON, for example?
Coalition is definitely going to have a large part of it. That's going to be part of our advertising. So a lot of social media utilization to be able to spread the word about ROCKETCON. And then if anybody else has
Yeah,
wants to
so I don't know if this was made explicitly clear from our presentation, but part of the D&I fellowship, the purpose of that fellowship will be to promote the Women's Rocket League Championship as well as ROCKETCON. So we had included in our budget $500,000 discretionary fund for that coalition to be able to say, hey, you're smart, qualified people who are plugged into the esports space. Here's this money. Like you guys know more about the esports space than we do. Go out and spend it and help promote our brand, the US Bank brand, as well as those activations in ROCKETCON.
I can jump in. There's a lot of cool elements here. Like I love that it's so Rocket League. It hits every point of the Rocket League fan, whether they're a casual player like me to a professional or someone that follows more of the RLCS. I'm kind of curious, like why Carball stayed in, only because, and I know this because I work with Rocket League, but they just did Goals for Change in March, which was a big event that they invited. It was a casual tournament for women in North America and Europe. I'm curious, like why you're not pivoting towards something of that structure. And then my second question is, ROCKETCON just seems like so undervalued. I've like worked at TwitchCon. I've like ran these events. Sponsorships alone are like $1 million. So I see like 1.75 put aside. Are you expecting in this scenario that like Psionics would pick up some of the dollars here? Okay, I see nods, so it looks like a yes. But I'm just trying to figure out like I want to go. Like I want to go so badly to ROCKETCON. I'm just curious. I just wonder if you undervalued like the presenting sponsor a little bit there.
Right. To answer that one, since they were going to partner with ESL Games and Psionics already puts on the Rocket League Championship, we did increase how much it would cost a little bit because they would be going in on that event together.
Cool. And oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. And then to answer your first question, we really felt like we would do the Women's Carball Championship, kind of trying to invest in women in esports a little bit more. I know that Goals for Change was a more amateur tournament before. So this is really just trying to invest in women professional gamers. And that's kind of why we pivoted towards Women's Carball.
Got it. And that makes sense. I appreciate that. I was also curious how you landed on ESL. I also happen to work with ESL. And I know they focus on like AAA hardcore titles like Dota, CSGO. They have some mobile gaming. And we know Rocket League is coming out with mobile soon. So I was curious why you landed on ESL, only because it doesn't feel like a fit in their natural portfolio, but curious if there's something that you found that made them feel like a good fit as a tournament organizer.
That was based on some industry research that we did and definitely wanting to try and legitimize the ROCKETCON by partnering with somebody already in the esports and event marketing space. So
I would have loved to have seen like Reed Pop. They do like all the PAX events. They do TwitchCon even in the past. Like those are the event organizers. I look at ESL as a tournament organizer, which RLCS is all Rocket League Championship Series. Sorry, if anybody doesn't know, is done in-house with Rocket League. But I think ESL is a cool choice. I would like to see what they do for an event. I've never seen that type of experience before for them. But cool, thank you.
I thought you guys did a great job. I think there was a miss on the amplification in media to the last two questions point. I think you, and definitely building off what Steph said. I have one question, but before I get to my question, I want to just give you guys props. Like from the start with Jack's bow tie and introduction to Sarah, to Cyril, like even to my guy Robert, making me want to go to ROCKETCON. Like you guys did a phenomenal job. Like that was really good storytelling. We don't get that a lot. I think we've seen some presentations that really lack that. So despite maybe some flaws in some of the actual budgeting or amplification of the project, I think you guys did a really incredible job. You know, it took what we told you last time, because we were hard on you last time. I mean, But you also had the inside track because other people didn't get the questions from someone like Stefan, who were actually in part of the industry. So hopefully that helped. My only question to you guys is, you did a great job at Rocket League creators. I love the Athena call out. Why didn't you go the Rocket League team route why, teams, especially in Rocket League, really good value, especially here in North America. There's teams like G2 or Space Station Gaming, Envy. I didn't see any thinking around teams. So why no teams?
Right. So originally we were definitely trying to steer towards the diversity and women in esports angle. And it was very difficult for us to find teams that were representative of that. So that's why we mostly pivoted towards individual streamers and gamers.
100% get it. Space Station Gaming has like a whole roster of up and coming women creators in Rocket League. So I thought that if that was the rationale, maybe a little bit more research would have turned up that Space Station could have been and they have some of the biggest creators as well. So I think that could have been a really interesting add to build, but I'm not gonna good answer, Sarah. I get it, but I think there was an avenue there for you guys to have a little bit more efficiency.
We got time for one more question if the judge has another question or comment.
Yeah, just a quick question. Loved your presentation. Thought you had some great ideas. What about reaching down to the grassroots at the high school level, the collegiate player? Because this is where your future customer base is, your future playing base is. There's a real need in terms of financial literacy with this age group, and some pretty neat tie-ins. What are your thoughts of expanding into these groups?
Well, I think that's what we kind of tried to do with the D&I coalition that we had, because of the kind of grassroots nature of some of those Twitch streams. Try to reach some of that grassroots audience. I think it's an excellent idea to kind of reach into the college and high school thing. That's just not something that we had focused primarily on for this activation, but I think it's a good idea for the future.
Something I really love about the pillars we're creating is we're building an infrastructure where ideas like that very naturally can be integrated down the line. So I think you focus on setting up these big pillars, and then there's a lot of open doors in the future for US Bank.
Anybody have one last comment, or are we good for the judges? Good? Alrighty, well, Team G, thank you so much. You guys did a wonderful job. Like I said, winners will be announced, or first, second, third will be announced at the Spring Summit in May. You all are more than welcome to come. For right now, you guys are more than welcome to stay too if you want to watch the next presentation, since you've already presented, so feel free to stick around for the last one. But for right now, judges, I will ask y'all to head over to the breakout room. Dave, I'll add you to that right now. So judges can head over there, and then we'll hang tight. And the next presentation will probably begin at about 2 p.m. Pacific time. So if you want to hang tight, it's my line. If you want to hang tight, you're more than welcome to. But if not,